South Africa's democratic constitution, born from the ashes of apartheid, is celebrated worldwide as a beacon of justice, equality, and human rights. More than law, it is a promise to heal past divisions and build a future where every citizen's dignity and freedom are protected and upheld. South Africa's democratic constitution is often described as one of the most progressive in the world, a living document that carries the weight of the nation's painful past while charting the path to a more just and equal future. Born in the fires of apartheid and shaped by the struggles of millions who fought oppression, the Constitution of the Republic of South Africa, adopted in 1996, is more than just a legal framework. It is a moral compass, a social contract, and a promise to generations that the injustices of the past will never again define the country's destiny. It is called the crown jewel of South Africa's democracy, celebrated globally for inclusivity, human rights, and recognition of diversity as a strength. Yet, almost 3 decades later, the Constitution continues to face both praise and criticism, as South Africans wrestle with whether its promises are truly being realized in everyday life. At its heart, the democratic constitution rejects the ideology that once divided the nation by race, class, and privilege. It enshrines the principle that every person, regardless of color, gender, religion, or background, is equal before the law. This was not a simple achievement. The Constitution is the result of years of negotiations, compromises, and sacrifices by liberation movements, political leaders, and citizens determined to ensure that the transition from apartheid to democracy did not collapse into war or chaos. The adoption of the Constitution was both an ending and a beginning, the end of apartheid's legalized discrimination, and the beginning of an era of constitutional supremacy, where no leader, party, or institution stands above the law. One of the most remarkable aspects of South Africa's constitution is its Bill of Rights. This is not just a list of ideals but a comprehensive set of guarantees that touch almost every aspect of human existence. The rights to equality, dignity, expression, religion, and political participation are complemented by socioeconomic rights such as access to housing, health care, food, water, and education. This makes South Africa's constitution unique because it recognizes democracy cannot be meaningful if people remain trapped in poverty and inequality. The drafters understood that freedom without bread, or dignity without shelter, would be hollow. In this sense, the Constitution was designed to be transformative, not just a replacement of apartheid laws but a roadmap to reshape society itself. Another critical pillar is its commitment to checks and balances. The separation of powers between executive, legislature, and judiciary ensures no branch dominates. The Constitutional Court, the highest guardian, has been central to this vision. Time and again, it struck down laws or executive actions that violated principles of the Constitution, affirming that the document is not just symbolic but enforceable. Landmark rulings on issues from same-sex marriage to social grants have shown how the Constitution shields the marginalized and holds power accountable. This judicial activism has made South Africa a global leader in constitutional law, with many countries looking to its jurisprudence as a model. Yet the story of the Constitution is not only one of triumph but also of tension. While the legal framework is strong, implementation of rights remains uneven. Millions still live in poverty, with inadequate housing, poor access to education, and limited jobs. Corruption, mismanagement, and political infighting have undermined the state's ability to deliver. Critics argue that while rights exist on paper, the reality shows a gap between vision and execution. This fuels debates about whether the Constitution needs amendments, whether it gives too much power to the judiciary, or whether it restricts government in pursuing economic transformation. Defenders insist the problem lies not in the document but in leaders failing to honor its principles with integrity. The Constitution also emphasizes reconciliation and nation-building. The preamble, with its commitment to heal the divisions of the past and establish a society based on democratic values, social justice, and fundamental human rights, captured the spirit of hope during the transition to democracy. It does not shy away from apartheid's injustices but refuses to let bitterness dominate. This was reflected in the Truth and Reconciliation Commission, which operated within the constitutional framework to address past atrocities. Whether South Africa has fully achieved the reconciliation envisioned remains contested, but its symbolic power continues to shape how South Africans see themselves in a shared national project. Importantly, the Constitution is supported by a range of independent institutions known as Chapter 9 institutions, such as the Public Protector, the Human Rights Commission, and the Auditor General. These bodies defend democracy, promote transparency, and protect citizens from abuses of power. Their independence is protected by the Constitution itself, underscoring the drafters' determination to safeguard against authoritarian rule. While these institutions have faced challenges, their role remains vital in ensuring South Africa's democracy is more than an idea but a functioning reality. Beyond South Africa, the Constitution has been celebrated as a model of democratic transition. It stands as proof that even the deepest divisions can be overcome through dialogue, compromise, and a shared vision of justice. It has inspired activists and scholars worldwide, showing that a constitution can be both a shield for individual rights and a sword for social transformation. However, South Africa's ongoing struggles with inequality, unemployment, and corruption also remind us that a constitution, no matter how progressive, is only as strong as the society that upholds it. For younger generations born after 1994, the Constitution may feel like an old story, belonging to their parents' struggle. Yet its relevance today cannot be overstated. The Constitution is not frozen, it must be lived, interpreted, and adapted to new challenges. Debates about land reform, gender-based violence, digital privacy, and climate change all fall under its scope, showing how dynamic it remains as a framework for governance. It calls on every South African, whether in government, business, civil society, or the streets, to defend its values and demand accountability from those in power. Ultimately, the Constitution is both a shield and a mirror. It shields citizens from abuse and injustice, but it also reflects whether the nation is living up to its ideals. To honor it is not only to read its words but to breathe life into them through action. It requires courage, honesty, and commitment from leaders and citizens alike. It is not just the responsibility of courts or politicians, it is the collective duty of society. The legacy of South Africa's Constitution lies in its promise that no matter how dark the past, a new path can be forged through justice, equality, and democracy. Its true measure will be whether South Africans continue to see it not as paper but as the beating heart of their nation. For a democracy is only as strong as the people who believe in it, defend it, and live by it.